Before starting this video, I just want to discuss about the input method of Python. This input method is used to take input from the user and it always takes string. So for example, if I take input and store it in variable x and I try to print this input, also the type of this input, and now I run this code. Now instead of giving a string, I will give an integer, and you can see that it is showing the type as str string. One way to take input integer input is by typecasting. So you can use int like this and you typecast the string to integer, and then if you try again you can see you are getting int as type. But what if you have to take multiple inputs from the user? Do you have to use input again and again? No. So for example, again, if I run this code and now I give, instead of one string, I give two strings, and you can see it is taking two strings in a single line. But what if you have to perform function on each of these string given in a single line? So in Python we have a method called split. So what split will do, by default it will look for a space between two strings and then it will convert these strings into the list of strings. So for example, if I run this code again, so as an input I have passed two strings and it have converted into list of two strings. So in this question, your name, this person is writing his girlfriend's name. He has n cubes, each with a lowercase Latin letter written on it. They are arranged in a row forming a string S. His girlfriend name is also a string T. So you have basically two strings, string S and string T, consisting again of n lowercase Latin letters. So from these two lines we know that there will be two strings and both will be having same length n. To prove his love, he must check whether it is possible to rearrange the letters of string S so that it becomes her name T. So basically you have to take string S and rearrange it in such a way that it will form string T. Input, the first line contains the integer q, the number of test cases. So in this case we have 5. The first line of each test case contains an integer n. So basically this is the size of our string, the length of our string. The second line of each test case contains two distinct strings, string S and T, each consisting of n lowercase Latin letters. So this first one is string S, second one is T, both having length as 7. So for each test case, output yes if the letter S can be rearranged to form T, otherwise no. So there are two ways to solve this question. So the first way to solve this question is by using sorting technique. So we will first take integer input of 5, so there will be 5 test cases. Then we will run the for loop for these 5 test cases, and then we will again take integer input for the length of the string. Then we will take, now as discussed earlier, input take string as input, and we will split this. So this line of string will be converted into list of strings, and the at index 0 whatever is present at in the list will be stored in S, and at index 1 whatever is there in the list will be stored in T. And we will use sorted method. If by sorting S and T both are equal, then we are printing yes, otherwise no. There is another way as well to solve this question. From collection class we can import counter. So basically what counter does is, for example, if we have these two strings and we apply this counter function on both of them, so what counter will does is like it will create a dictionary. It will go through each character and it will find how many times this character is occurring in a string. So in this case, O is occurring one time, H is occurring one time, R and I, all of them are occurring just once. It will do the same thing for HORI. Now, if we want to compare these two dictionaries, so what it will does, it will come up to O and it will check for this key in the second dictionary and will check if the values are matching, and it will perform the same thing for each key, and if both are equal we will print yes, otherwise no. This is the code for counter. So instead of sorting we will use counter on our S and T part, and if they are equal we will print yes, otherwise no.